Ever wondered if your ancestors smelled like absolute garbage? The truth might actually shock you.
Ancestors? Smelled like garbage?
You woke up today, turned a tap, and clean water flowed instantly. A complete modern miracle. But to your ancient ancestors, this daily luxury would look like pure, unimaginable magic. Next, you squeezed minty paste onto plastic bristles, scrubbing away the night's bacteria. Then you stood under hot, falling water, using chemical soaps and heavily perfumed shampoos. You applied deodorant, wore freshly washed clothes, and still felt like you needed coffee. Now, imagine stripping all of that away. No modern tools, no running water, nothing. Just you, a smoky fire, animal hides, and the raw, untamed elements of nature. So, did ancient humans actually smell terrible? By our standards, probably yes. But that answer is far too simple. They weren't just dirty, helpless cavemen. The real question is, how did they stay clean enough to survive without modern hygiene? Let's start with the mouth. Right now, your mouth is home to billions of bacteria. Brushing doesn't kill them all, it just manages them. Toothpaste is basically crowd control. Surprisingly, ancient skeletons often show remarkably healthy teeth before the invention of farming. When agriculture arrived, diets shifted to soft starches and grains, feeding cavity-causing bacteria. Suddenly, humans became great at making bread, but also incredibly great at making cavities. But they weren't helpless. Long before plastic brushes, they used natural chewing sticks. A stick frayed at one end acts exactly like a brush, scraping away plaque. Some sticks, like miswak, even release natural chemicals that fight harmful oral bacteria. So, a simple stick wasn't primitive, it was just a highly effective, unmarketed toothbrush. Now, let's talk about body odor. Here is a dirty secret about human sweat. Fresh sweat is mostly water and salt. It doesn't actually smell like anything at first. The odor comes later, when skin bacteria break down the organic compounds in your sweat. An ancient human scent was a complex mix of sweat, smoke, dirt, and animal hides. They lived around campfires daily, meaning smoke covered their hair, skin, and clothing. To them, the smell of smoke meant safety, warmth, cooked food, and community. Their scent was definitely strong, but strong doesn't automatically mean filthy or diseased. Our ancestors didn't need commercials to know what was clean and what was dangerous. In a world without labels, your nose was the ultimate survival technology. They knew rotten meat smelled wrong, bad water smelled wrong, and infected wounds smelled dangerous. A bad smell wasn't an embarrassment. It was critical, life-saving data about the environment. What about sleeping? They weren't just collapsing onto random, dirty cave floors. Archaeologists found ancient beds made of carefully selected grasses and aromatic, insect-repelling leaves. They also layered their beds with fine ash, which physically deters crawling insects. This wasn't a modern mattress, but it was a deliberate, highly intelligent pest control system. Ancient hygiene wasn't about smelling like lavender, it was about actively reducing survival risks. When humans invented clothing, they also accidentally created a brand new habitat for parasites. Body lice live specifically in clothing seams, unlike head lice which cling to hair. Genetic studies of lice show they adapted to clothing tens of thousands of years ago. To combat pests, grooming became a vital social activity that built trust and community. Grooming said, "I am close enough to touch you, and you trust me completely." Hygiene wasn't a private, lonely bathroom routine. It was a collaborative, social effort. Without shampoo, they combed, braided, and rinsed their hair using natural river water. We have found beautifully carved ancient combs designed specifically to remove lice and dirt. But bathing depended entirely on climate, season, and the immediate threats of the wild. While soap-like mixtures exist in ancient history, humans survived for millennia without them. Instead of soap, they used sand to scrub, ash to cut grease, and clay to absorb oils. None of these were modern soap, but they kept the skin functional and clean. Now, the taboo topic: toilet habits. How did they handle waste without plumbing? They went outside, but they kept waste far away from food, water, and sleeping areas. Small, mobile groups had one massive advantage over modern cities: endless open space. If a campsite became unclean or smelly, they simply packed up and moved away. Only when humans settled in dense, crowded cities did sanitation become a deadly disaster. Today, clean means smelling like synthetic flowers. To them, clean meant surviving the day. They weren't dirty savages. They were survival geniuses using the perfect tools of their time.